Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Sustainability Shorts 2024 with me, Helen Clarkson. In our short and sweet interview series, we'll be discussing the topics on the top of everyone's mind in the run-up to this year's Climate Week NYC. Today, we're joined by Dr. Eva Riesenhuber, Global Head of Sustainability at Siemens AG. Siemens' mission is to innovate and excel in the fields of electrification, automation and digitalization, aiming to improve quality of life and promote sustainable development globally. The company focuses on delivering high-tech solutions across energy, infrastructure, industry, and healthcare sectors, driving technological progress to create lasting value for future generations. Siemens also emphasized its commitment to responsible and efficient use of resources, underscoring its dedication to addressing some of the most pressing global challenges. Siemens focuses on achieving carbon neutrality by 2030, promoting the circular economy, and enhancing energy efficiency. The company aims to reduce its environmental footprint by integrating sustainable practices in its operations, developing eco-friendly technologies, and fostering partnerships that drive global sustainability initiatives. Welcome, Eva. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm really curious to learn more about Siemens' commitment to leading the way for positive climate action. How are you integrating sustainability into your company's overarching business strategy?
This is an excellent question. And to understand how we integrate it in our strategy, it's really worthwhile to pause a second on what we actually do. As you said in your introduction, we are focusing on electrification, building, transportation, and industry, which is really the backbone of society. We're doing this as a technology company. So what we've done a little while ago, we look at our three customer value propositions in sustainability, which is on the one hand, energy efficiency, decarbonization. Then we have circularity and resource efficiency, and we have people centricity and societal impact. And more than 90% of our portfolio enables our customers to have a positive impact in sustainability in one or more of these three customer value propositions. So when we talk about our strategy, we're very, very closely aligned at the pressure that we're feeling on planet and society globally. And it helps in that respect because we are in societal infrastructure that we have been around for more than 175 years. Because that means we actually built this infrastructure and now we're making it smarter, we digitize it because we can't change it, right? We can't throw out the old because we all know we're in a transition and then rebuild everything from scratch. There's an element from where we have to turn brownfield into green. So when we're not talking about integrating it in our strategy, we're obviously doing this from many, many different directions. One is really very simple, like what does our customer need? And it's at the center of everything. And since we are at the center of this transition as well, it is anticipating the needs of our customers, which come from many, many different directions. So one obviously is anticipating global regulations. And we all know that while the world is moving in the right direction, we're doing that in very different speeds and in different priorities in different parts of the globe. It is not a natural transition that we're going through. It is one that is pushed by regulations. So we're very actively monitoring regulations and also looking at incentivization that is coming. So where are our customers being pushed to do things and where are incentives for our customers that we can help support and accelerate with the help of our customers. Because at the bottom of all of this, if we want to deal with this global climate crisis, we need to find a way to scale it. And for companies, that actually means it needs to be profitable in one way or another. So that means we all have to be a lot smarter than we were before because our customers don't want to sacrifice on quality, agility, flexibility. They want the top technology and sustainable. So that was what we're driving for. And the next angle to anticipate needs is actually to also look at sustainability scenarios. So many are modeling climate scenarios. We're doing that as well. But there's more to that. We're also looking at circularity transition. We're looking at social pressures. So all of this has to come together. We're looking at the acceleration, the ability through artificial intelligence. So we're not just facing one challenge and one crisis. It's a very complex world. And again, different speeds in different areas. And the key to all of it for us is innovation, which means that we spend 8% of our revenues on R&D. And R&D in areas of sustainable energy and infrastructure, in additive manufacturing, in AI, all of this massively contribute to being able to accelerate the entire transformation that we're facing.
Great, that's really interesting. And I'm hearing a lot in these conversations about that complexity, and it's great to hear how you're going about tackling that. Can you tell us a bit about how your organization has benefited from your transition in your operations to net zero?
Yes, because sometimes we all think it's having to transform is something negative. It's just a cost item. But that's not true, right? I mean, we obviously committed to very ambitious targets. You know that because we also committed to the Climate Group 100 targets by 2030. We have a 90% minus 90% CO2 target for our company. That is without offsets. So how can you achieve that? It is really going the hard way, like fully electrifying the fleet. Now we have the advantage we can use our own charging solutions. We can use our own microgrid solutions. But then we also have to tackle the buildings. So here we're looking at all the sites that we own and lease, and we try to put solar on the roof and the heat pumps. We change the lighting. It's of course it helps to have a building automation portfolio in that respect, but you have to do it the hard way to then being able to actually show it to your customer, to give the proof points. And we have to electrify our production. So that is not always easy because for some things you need special temperature. So then we have to actually find solutions to that where we again can bring our innovation. So all of that becomes very tangible when we show the customer what can be achieved when you do that, what it means in flexibility, agility, and cost savings as well. And we have proof points like our digital native factory in Nanjing, which we completely designed first with our comprehensive digital twin before we built it. And the result is that we have more than 30% of manufacturing flexibility. We have more than 20% of productivity gains, but we're saving at the same time per year 6,000 cubic meter of water, 5 million kilowatt hours of energy, more than 3,000 tons of CO2. This is really relevant. So it shows again, you don't have to sacrifice. It's not either or, it's a real and. And then we're doing things like our WEF Lighthouse factories in Amberg and Chengdu. So they're sister factories. And during COVID, we were able to shift production within 24 hours from one continent to the other. So all of that is possible through technology and being able to illustrate that to the customer and actually going the hard way ourselves makes it a lot more tangible and credible and helps us optimize it as well.
Really interesting. Speaking personally, how did you get involved in this side of your organization's work, and what's the journey been like so far?
It's been a little bit of an unusual journey, but to me it now makes perfect sense because I feel I've got the best job in the whole company because I'm in a company that has a real impact and I can generate impact in the impact. So how does that work? It's I have a background in law and I have been a finance attorney in New York for 11 years. Then I pivoted and I joined Siemens, and I first did that in M&A, buying and selling companies for Siemens. I switched to becoming CFO of Next 47, our venture arm, where we invested in startups, but also accelerated young ideas in Siemens itself. And I became head of investor relations after that. So really, I know this company and I know what it can do. And I have been working across the company for more than 10 years now as well. In this role is actually absolutely not about me. It is what can be achieved by 320,000 people in Siemens globally. So in that sense, it's about working with a team of highly motivated people and figuring out in all of that noise that we're experiencing in sustainability, so many things are changing, regulations are changing, politics are changing. How do we find what is truly important? How do we cut through the noise and prioritize? How can we bring very complex, different things together to come up with a strategic direction? All of that means that many, many different stakeholders have to be involved, because sustainability doesn't happen in the sustainability department. It happens everywhere else in the company. And this ability it's a lot of fun, because I work with super smart people globally, and I also see everything that we can achieve. And the more we achieve and the more we understand what we can achieve, the more we accelerate as well. And seeing this whole dynamic is fantastic. So I personally think I got the best job.
That's great. And it's so interesting to see how people came into sustainability from different routes and what you bring into that. So, lastly, really, let's talk about challenges. So what are the main challenges you face in implementing these initiatives, and how are you tackling those?
So, of course, there are many, many different challenges, and mostly the devil is always in the detail. So the easy parts have happened. Now it's a lot of heavy lifting. And I don't have to explain to anyone who's remotely involved in sustainability reporting how much this has changed now in Europe with EU taxonomy and the CSRD. It requires data disclosure on a completely different level, which is a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in that as well, and we're embracing it as an opportunity. But there are things that have to come into place. So where does the data come from? We have to look at our data architecture. We have to take many, many different people along who in the past haven't really been involved in reporting. Getting it to the same level as finance reporting, obviously, is a challenge. But it doesn't stop there. It's also that the environment in which we're doing is constantly changing. So this agility around us also means that sometimes people push out regulations that maybe they would have been a little bit better if there had been a bit more time to be thought through and globally aligned. So right now we're navigating a geopolitical environment that treats sustainability very different. As I said at the beginning, everyone is on the right track, but it is also a question of competitiveness. And being able to navigate that in a very agile environment requires many people to be very sharp and on the ball. So it's like we have to be faster and smarter than we ever had to be before, and it's doable, but it's not doable for everyone. And we fear that sometimes when we look at small, medium enterprises, they're also our customers. Like, how can we take them along? Our supply chain, we have more than 63,000 suppliers in more than 100 countries. How can we take them along? So now we are figuring out solutions in training and pushing the knowledge that we have out to our ecosystem to make sure that people can come along with us. Like in China, where on our Accelerate, our digital business platform, we actually have a lot of trainings available to customers, to suppliers, to make sure that it's not about a few companies really being able to navigate this transformation. It's about all of us being able to navigate it. And only that way we are sure we're going to accelerate. So it's very important to get the balance right here and keep looking around, because the time of when a company could do it alone are no longer there.
That's great. Thank you so much. It's been so interesting to hear about all the innovative methods that Siemens is using to advance sustainability. And it's really great to learn about your strategy and implementation. To find out more about Siemens projects and learn how you can integrate this into your own business models, join us at Climate Week NYC on September the 22nd to the 29th. Thanks and goodbye.